Yeah, so let's talk about endometriosis, or endo for short. So I'm going to build a definition. I'm going to kind of stack it. I almost want to say anything you've heard about endometriosis, just kind of sit it in a corner, because I know you're going to want to hold on to some of those old misconceptions. Or if you have endometriosis, you definitely have let those misconceptions go and you're like, LJ, bring it, honey. You're bringing the truth, right? So endometriosis is uterine-like tissue found outside of the uterus. I'm going to say that again. Uterine-like tissue found outside of the uterus. It is not a rogue period. It's not just that you're a weak woman with the uterus. It's not a gynecological issue whatsoever. It is chronic systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Now, when I say throughout your entire body, that's everything outside of your uterus. You can have it in your sinuses, in your shoulder, in your bowel, on your bladder. It can be anywhere. I've had patients that have had it in their ankle. It can be throughout your entire body. Those lesions not only inflame themselves, but all of the tissue around it. So let's say you have a pinch of it on your bladder. It's not uncommon to have a bunch of UTIs, have kidney issues, have a lot of inflammation and pain down there. Maybe you have a diagnosis of IC. All of that comes with endometriosis. Those lesions also create their own hormones. They bring their own estrogen and progesterone to the table, which is where we'll talk about some of those misconceptions. So it does have a hormonal component. All of that wrapped up, don't worry, I'll circle back through. And then on top, you have autoimmune-like factors. So chronic systemic inflammation throughout the entire body, uterine-like tissue found outside of the uterus, meaning it can be anywhere throughout the body. Those lesions cause pain and inflammation at the actual lesion site. Anything touching or around it, then you've got that inflammation still circling through, and then those autoimmune-like factors. That is endometriosis. Now, what I will say is some people, and I always kind of forget that, so I want to throw this is, some people have diagnosis of silent endo. Zero pain whatsoever. Never knew they had an issue. They're on the fertility journey. Things aren't adding up. They go into a specialist. They have a laparoscopic procedure and they're like, hey, your organs are fused together. You've got all this endometriosis lesions. And they're like, we don't even know endo what. Like, what are you talking about? Versus others have a lot of pain and symptoms, what I call check engine lights.